Hello, welcome back. Thanks to everyone who has recently subscribed to my channel and support what I do. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why? You're not doing anything right now, so you might as well. Anyway, let's talk about something that's been festering like an open wound for quite some time now. Something the powers that be would rather you didn't notice, but notice we have, thanks to people like Tommy Robinson. Now, the Casey report came out yesterday, was it yesterday? And it's quite damning. It's given Keir Starmer an excuse to say, oh, this is why I'm going to get a inquiry now. And all of a sudden he's become the so-called far right, which he accused others of, for wanting that inquiry. Too little too late on his behalf, if you ask me. But as I said, the Casey report is pretty damning. And as you can see in this pie chart here, you can see who the majority of the perpetrators are. And it's staring us right in the face. Tommy Robinson, yeah, that Tommy Robinson, the bloke they love to hate, the one they've dragged through the mud, locked up and branded as every nasty name in the book. Racist, fascist, far-right thug, you name it, they've slapped it on him like a cheap sticker. But here's the thing, and brace yourselves because it's going to burn. Tommy Robinson was right about the grooming gangs. He was dead right, and the people who smeared him, they knew it all along. Now I know what you're thinking, oh here we go, another rant defending the troublemaker, but stick with me because this isn't about Tommy's manners or his choice of words. This is about truth. Ugly, inconvenient, stomach-churning truth. For years Tommy was out there shouting from the rooftops about gangs, mostly Pakistani Muslim men, it's a fact, let's not mince words. Preying on vulnerable young girls in towns like Rotherham, Rochdale, Telford, you name it. Girls as young as 11. 11-year-old girls, children, groomed, drugged, raped, you know what I'm talking about, passed around like commodities, thousands of them, thousands. And what did the authorities do? Sweet bugger all. Worse than that, they covered it up. Social workers, police, councils, even MPs, all turning a blind eye because, heaven forbid, they might offend someone. And Tommy, well, he wouldn't shut up about it, would he? And fair play, he kept banging the drum, filming, protesting, getting in the faces of the people who wanted it swept under the rug. And for his trouble, they vilified him. The media painted him as a knuckle-dragging bigot, a one-man hate machine stirring up trouble for no reason. The courts hounded him, threw him in jail for contempt because he dared to report on trials that were already public knowledge. They wanted him silenced and didn't care how dirty they had to play to do it. Why? Because he was exposing their failure, their cowardice, their spineless, political correct refusal to face the truth. So let's rewind a bit, shall we? Rotherham, 1,400 girls abused over decades, gangs operating with impunity, police reports ignored, victims dismissed as sluts or troublemakers or far right even, for heaven's sake. And it wasn't just Rotherham, Rochdale, Oxford, Newcastle. Same story, same pattern. These weren't isolated incidents either. This was systemic, and who was calling it out while the BBC was busy wringing its hands over community cohesion? Tommy bloody Robinson, that's who. He was out there, raw and unfiltered, saying what everyone else was too scared to say, and they hated him for it. And here's another thing, you don't have to like him to see the point. He was shining a light on a scandal that the establishment wanted buried, and when the truth finally started leaking out, when reports like the J report confirmed everything he'd been saying, what did they do? Did they apologise to him? Did they say, blimey Tommy, you were onto something there? Did they heck? They doubled down. They kept smearing him because admitting he was right would mean admitting they were wrong. And that's one thing these people will never do. And the worst bit, the grooming gangs are still out there. The cover-ups are still happening. Just look at the news, or rather, look at what isn't in the news. Every so often, another case breaks, another gang convicted, and the media tiptoes around it like it's a live grenade. They'll mutter something about men or gangs without ever joining the dots. Meanwhile, the same politicians who ignored the problem for years are still preaching about diversity and tolerance while girls are being failed again and again. And where's Tommy? Still being treated like public enemy number one, still fighting to get his voice heard. So here's the question, and it's simple really. If Tommy Robinson was wrong, why did they work so hard to shut him up? If he was just a ranting nutter, why not let him talk to prove himself a fool? I'll tell you why. Because he was right. Because he was saying what they didn't want you to hear. And because deep down they were terrified of what happens when people start listening. Look, you don't have to wave a flag for Tommy Robinson. You don't have to agree with everything he says or how he says it. But you've got to ask yourself, why was he the only one shouting about this for so long? Why did it take years for the rest of us to catch up? And what does it say about our country when the people who tell the truth get punished while the ones who lie get a pat on the back? And I'll leave you with that. Think about it. And next time someone tries to sell you the Tommy's a racist line, ask them, what's their excuse for ignoring those girls? Because I'll bet you a pint they haven't got one. And there we go. Give us your tuppence in the comments as usual. And if you don't fancy subscribing, then give it a like and share. Share this far and wide. Spread the word, because everyone needs to hear the truth whether they like it or not. I'm Paz49, and I'll see you at the next video. Roger Trout.